What's going on, guys? This is True Politician here, and today's video we're going to be discussing the Florida redistricting and how Republicans just absolutely just did what they had to do, did what they did successfully, didn't make the map too risky to a dummy mander, and I seen Democrats cope on X about how this could be a dummy mander. We'll discuss how that's not really plausible. Well, also, the map just effectively compacts Virginia, a very compact map. And some people were saying, oh, why did Republicans in Florida not draw out another Democrat or two? So they had like a 26 and 2, 25 and 3. The problem is there could just be legal trouble, and the 24 and 4 map does it enough where it compacts Virginia, combats it, does it effectively without too much legal trouble, which again, the state Supreme Court is overwhelmingly conservative, but it's just like it could be held up in the courts and it could just be a massive problem. Also, I believe if a 26 and 2 and even 25 and 3 map were to happen, I think it would be unlikely, but it'd just be a possible, actual dummy mander, which is we'd rather be safe than sorry, especially when the midterms, especially the House margin, is literally on the knife's edge. And as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, this is like the old district, and they just effectively did what they needed to do. Trump plus 50, 18 now. And the only like quote unquote toss up district I think I've seen people say is like the Florida's 25th. But here's the thing. Florida's shifting. Sorry for bumping the table there. But Florida's trending rightward off a cliff ever since 2020. Republicans are damn near 1.5 million in the registration data. Yes, the Florida state GOP is, you could say, in 2025 and even in 2026, they've been kind of dropping the ball in some special elections. Some special elections are completely different from, well, what presidential years, but also even midterms. Republicans had on net around 400,000 since 2024 when the books closed in terms of registration data. And the Florida state GOP, all things considered, are still very, very competent. And the Democrat Party in Florida is kind of dead. Also, I think is, again, even the midterm year where I think Democrats going to be energized, and some of these margins, even like the 25th and even like the 22nd and 14th, could be closer. Even in kind of a blue wave year, like a D+6, D+5, when the Democrats are energized, they come out in droves. I just don't think it's going to be enough, especially when Republicans have money and they're actually effectively spending it, and probably are going to effectively spend it and use their war chest, where Democrats, they're going to have to topple a Trump plus 11 district, while also most likely being outspent with a competent state GOP, with a competent state party, when the Democrat state party in Florida has been basically dead and just destroyed by Ron DeSantis and the Republicans there. Ever since the 2022 midterms, there's been a disaster for the Democrats in terms of the state party. That's just so many things. Even if Republicans barely lose the House this midterm, which I think they're probably favored to do so, unfortunately, the losses are going to be very minimal. And I think Republicans are probably going to win all 4 of these House seats. Even if the 25th and maybe the 22nd and 14th might be a little bit closer, it's still going to be enough. And again, if you look at the... Oh, it's not loading. If you look at the... again, this is from, 24 House seat map. But if you just look at the shift here, again, just like the old districts, and some people, some Democrats are saying this is a dummy mander. Somehow this could be a dummy mander. It's like you would have to have Florida shift to the left on net by like 10 points in like a blue wave 2018 on steroids for this to be kind of a dummy mander. Like, and even then, Republicans still gain 2 House seats on net, which would suck instead of 4, but like still, it's like even best case scenario, even that's not even realistic for Democrats, they're still losing House seats. And again, like Democrats, there's going to be down ballot effects for the governorship, the Senate race there as well in Florida. This is an open Senate seat where Republicans are probably going to win by damn near double digits. I think worst case scenario by lower singles, 7, 8, 9 points. The same thing with Byron Donalds. Like there's down ballot effects. Even if Democrats are energized, Florida seems like they know how to get their voter base out, even if it's like in off year elections. And again, Florida did their job, and I think they did effectively where there's no risk of this happening. So we're gonna quickly kind of fill out the map up a little bit. Florida right here. Oh, sorry for the ad right there. But excuse me. So if we go back to the map house districts that are being drawn out, so it's the 9th, I'm pretty sure. Yes, the 9th. So we're gonna quickly fill this out. But again, just not very good for the Democrats here. So if you, and again, we're just gonna put in the safe color, even though some of them might not be really. But so again, the 25th. And we're just gonna randomly just fill them out, even though is the 20th filled? I think the 20th is going. No, it's not. It's just compact. So we're just gonna do kind of random districts. But as you can see, Republicans have a net gain of 4, so they're at 206 to 212. And even if the Democrats win, I don't think they're gonna win all 17 toss-ups. But even if they do, they're gonna be at like 225. It's like, okay, you flip on net like 15 House seats compared to 2018. It's like it's not even halfway to 2018. So, and again, I don't have much hope. And again, this is combating Virginia entirely. You basically cancel out Virginia. And again, even if this happens, which it probably will, I believe the state legislator is going to vote on it, or at least put it in like into law, start putting it into law, because I think it made it out of the committee vote. So I believe May 1st they're going to officially like really vote on it. And also, yeah, we're gonna talk about Virginia, the state Supreme Court. And again, I'm not holding my breath that they're going to change and veto the map, but they struck down emergency veto by the Democrat Attorney General. And it's like that's definitely a good sign. And the early arguments from the state Supreme Court from a couple days ago also did not really go too well for Democrats. Now, again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but a week ago, I said there's like a 20 to 30% chance this map gets struck down. After the oral arguments, I'm kind of 50-50. Again, I wouldn't go to bed confident of this map being struck down, but there's a decent shot. I mean, there really is. And again, I feel like it's at best 50-50, maybe 60-40, 40% chance the map gets struck down. Again, I wouldn't hold my breath. I'm not betting on it, but I do think there's a shot. And again, I think we'll probably know here in 2 or 3 weeks whether this map gets struck down. And now, if it gets struck down, well, as you can see, Republicans, you can argue, are somewhat in the driver's seat. I don't think they're likely to hold on. But let's just say for the sake of argument that the Virginia map gets struck down, and Republicans gain 4 in Florida. And let's say they go on the offense, or at least defense, they hold on to Iowa. And it's not going to be safe Republican, but we'll just put it as like, actually, no, we'll just have it as like that. Iowa's, I believe, 3rd or 2nd. They will narrowly hold on. Republicans 218. Tom King's district with assault deductions. He's people say, oh, he's gonna lose. He has assault deduction. Even in the 2025 special election for governor, when you had energized turnout throughout the wazoo, his district was only D+1. When you had a vote numbers that was like, midterm levels. I mean, it was insane. Democrats showing in New Jersey, and even then his district was like D+1. I think he'll narrowly hold on, especially the Democrat that he's running against is probably a weak, kind of far left, weirdo. So, excuse me. And again, let's say like Virginia's 2nd, she narrowly holds on. She's like a decent incumbent who's strong, and Republicans are at 212. And just like overall, just not too bad whatsoever. And again, I don't think the Section 2 is going to be struck down in time before the midterms, but if it does get struck down like within like a week or 2, I don't think most of the deep South could take advantage of that if they ram through their maps, like Mississippi, Louisiana, maybe Alabama, maybe South Carolina. It's like it's not going to be too good for Democrats there. And let's say like Michigan's like seventh is kind of especially Republican. It could be enough, but Republicans, you can argue, could be in the driver's seat to hold on to the House barely in a midterm year where Democrats really thought they're going to crush the Republicans. Like they actually could hold on narrowly to the House. With 218, there is a pathway if this happens. I'm not saying it's going to, but again, if Virginia's map gets struck down and Florida's map goes through, which again I'm like 90+% sure it will. I'm sure it has the votes. I think Republicans have a very decent shot of holding on to the House. It's there. I would say worst case scenario that I'm doing right now is like it's like 50-50. The Republicans have a lot of money. If Donald Trump's able to energize the voter base, they're able to spend their money effectively, which it seems like that's what they're doing. They have a decent shot. So, and again, honestly, if you see 5 House seats, again, if Ohio didn't release a compromised chopped map and Indiana did their job right here and Utah didn't cave, they would be at 218 already, unfortunately. But that's not how, everything doesn't go in our way. So, anyways, again, clear pathway. But, anyways, guys, this is the True Red Politician. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Signing off. Later.